I'm Charlie. I work for Charlie Horwood. I work for ETS in the UK. I'm a client relations manager, which means my job is to support our university partners in the UK who are using our tests, using our products, and helping them get the most out of what we do and supporting them in their goals, whether that's student recruitment or student admissions, or understanding more about the wider market. The GRE test is a test that is designed to test a student's abilities in 3 core areas. So that is quantitative reasoning, verbal reasoning, and their written abilities as well, analytical writing. So the test is divided into 3 sections to cover those three areas. So we're testing things in verbal reasoning, like how do you understand, when you're reading something, how do you understand the argument? Can you pick up things like not just what's being said, but what isn't being said? What parts of the argument are missing? Where is what maybe is the author saying in that's maybe not explicit in the text and things like that. Quantitative reasoning, we're looking at how you use data, how you understand data, how you can analyse, how you can draw conclusions, sometimes from incomplete data and things like that. How you work through problems like that. So it's not a maths test, that part, but it's more about understanding how you can analyse and go through that type of data. And then when it comes to analytical writing, we're looking at how do you structure and write an argument. How do you talk? How do you work in that way? How when you're asked to write something, when you're asked to make an argument, how do you structure that? How do you put that together? How do you really put yourself out there in that way? So we're testing kind of 3 core competencies that are really essential specifically for business education, but also I think for working in business roles in the future as well. Schools want to be really certain of students' abilities. Schools they want to have people who are on their courses who are going to be able to keep up with the course, who are going to be capable, who they know can do these, who they know can display these core skills. So schools are interested in seeing that well-rounded picture of who you are. So when it comes to looking at, you obviously upload when you're applying for a master's or a postgraduate course, you're going to supply your undergraduate and all those other things. But in order to specifically show that you can handle these areas, then schools are asking students to take these tests in order to really to have that full picture of that student's ability, and making sure that they're getting the best and the brightest students and the students that are the most likely to succeed on their courses. So it's both. There is a test centre option and there is an online option as well that you can take. So there is flexibility on that. You can look at both. Yes, so there is a general GRE and then there are more subject-specific GREs. So we have some that are aimed specifically at, say, people who are looking to do law or people who are looking to do different areas. So there's not just one GRE. There is, in the UK, most schools are looking for the general GRE, but there are other subject-specific GREs out there as well that you can take. I think there's a few differences. So we recently made some fairly significant changes to the GRE test in order to make the test more kind of student friendly in some ways, and which in terms of, so we changed some structure, we changed some of the length, took out some parts of it. But one of the things that we thought was really important to keep was the analytical writing section. Not all tests cover that area. Not a lot of other tests are maybe fully multiple choice, fully focused on those sort of quantitative and the verbal reasoning pieces, rather than asking you to do a written task in the test as well. We felt it's important with the students to give that full rounded picture of what they do, and analytical writing is a really key part of what you do in a master's course, in a postgraduate course, at any level in higher education really. So for us, that's one of the main differentiators, is the fact that we have that analytical writing section, and you get a chance to, as a student, you get a chance to show your abilities in that area, and as a university who's looking at the test, you get to see a student's ability in that area too. There's a lot of research that is done by our teams in the US to back these things, to understand these things. We have question banks where quite different questions are cycled in and out of the test. We're constantly working on new questions to go into the test as well. And anything that we do is backed up, as I say, by research. So we have a team who specialise in creating these questions, trialling them out, testing them, seeing what kind of results they get. What are they getting the right sort of Are they at the right difficulty level? Are they testing the right skills? So as I say, anything that we do on that front, anything that goes into creating the test and choosing which questions are in the test, is backed up by an awful lot of research from our very strong team in the US. So you're graded on each individual section, which then gives you an overall total score. And the grading is done by a combination of human and AI marking. So one of the things that we've invested in is we have an AI engine that helps to read the written tasks. Now, none of our grading is done solely by AI. You're not gonna, you're not being marked just by a machine who says yes or no to your essay, but it's graded in comparison or in collaboration with a human marker. So we have someone who is looking at that, and then we have AI to assist them and to help them and to ensure consistency in our scoring process. We invest very heavily in test security. So ETS invests over $60 million a year in test security. So it's a key area of what we do. We have an awful lot of security protocols in place to help students, to help detect any cheating, but also to prevent it before it happens. So you mentioned a calculator, and one of the differentiators we have is we do actually allow a calculator in the GRE test. But for the home edition test, we have we have ways of checking what is going on when the student sets up their computer. We ask to see the room. We ask to look at various different parts of we ask to kind of go in quite in depth on that. So we do really kind of go out of our way to make cheating as difficult as possible, and we are always investing. We're always trying to find new ways to make sure that our test is fair, but also that our test is rigorous, and that our test is not not falsifiable in some ways. So I think it demonstrates your ability to. I would say it demonstrates your ability to perform the kind of tasks that you're going to need to perform in higher education, particularly in business courses, but also in the workplace as well. So we talk about skills gaps, and we talk about students needing to be able to, we talk about adaptability and all of those sort of things. And part of what we're testing here is your ability to reason and your ability to think outside of, rather than just here is a question, give us an answer, but like try and reason from that. If you've got something incomplete, if you have maybe not the full picture of something, then we're giving students the chance to demonstrate your ability to do that in those different manners, and give that, I think, very rounded picture of yourself sometimes that might not just show from your transcripts and your degree certificate. Yeah, there's practice materials, there's prep materials. Every student who signs up to do a GRE, you get a free practice test that you can do. We've also the practice test is now scored as well by our AI, so you can get feedback on your practice test, which is great, really helpful for students. There is a lot of prep materials out there, and you definitely can practice, and you can definitely get your understanding of what the test is going to cover and the kind of questions you're going to get, to make sure that your mindset, as much as anything, is right for what what the test is going to cover. So in terms of prep, so it really depends on the student. As I say, that we offer a lot of free prep materials, but also there are paid prep materials that you can get from ETS. So students, it really depends on what you feel that you need to do. So in terms of investment in the test is around $200. There's different pricing in different regions, but in terms of what as a student that you are investing, as much as anything, it's investing in your future, fundamentally, in being able to show and put yourself in the best light for these business school applications. So we do track test results, we publish research, we publish reports which kind of go through, and you're breaking down test results by country and what are we seeing in different countries. So you do see patterns. We see patterns in various different areas, but I wouldn't say there is one country where where people are naturally more suited to standardized testing. There are some countries where people may be more used to it, and they do it more often in their high school or in their undergraduate degrees, and they're more used to taking these sort of tests. But we believe in the way we structure the test, the way we put the test together, in terms of the questions, we're constantly reviewing and looking at our questions for anything that could be could show any sense of cultural bias. So if there's certain questions that might be easier to answer if you're from a certain country and have a knowledge of a certain subject, we're always constantly checking for those to make sure that the test is as fair as possible wherever you are in the world. I would say the thing to know about the GRE test is that it's very helpful in terms of showing potential universities your willingness and your keenness to study with them and to do a course, whether it's an MBA or an MBM or a similar business or an economics course. Lots of people, it's a competitive, very competitive global marketplace these days for business education. Anywhere you're applying to, if you're applying to a university in the UK, you're applying in America, you're applying in Australia, wherever, those universities are getting applications from people all over the world. So anything that you can do to stand out is going to be helpful, and so taking a test like this can really help demonstrate and help you stand out. But also, as I say, it can just show the graduate schools that you're applying to, the business schools that you're applying to, that you're not just kind of possibly considering doing this, but you're very serious about it and you want to do it. So it can help strengthen your application in that manner as well.